What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your co-host, Christian, and I'm here with my brother, my best man. Say what's up, Anthony.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? I'm here and I'm happy to be here. I'm alive all as well. I'm excited to be with you here talking about All Elite Wrestling Dynamite. It was a
Yes,
good show.
sir. It
Uh,
was a good show.
a lot happened here. And what I like about this, and I talked to Ty, oh my God, why did I call you Tyler? I'm so used to talking to Tyler. Christian's looking at me like, bitch, fuck
How
you.
many times I've been here for I've been on the show for
This is episode
enough.
7. I'm
Oh shit,
sorry,
episode
sir.
7.
I'm sorry, sir. You know I love you, man. Christian here. Um, he sort of like is more of like the doctor of Dugonomics when it comes to AEW. And I'm kind of just like the person that's kind of just like watching it. So I like hearing his take a bit more because, like I have my thoughts, but I'm not someone who watched it from the beginning. So it's like, my take's important, but like I kind of hear what you want to think because you sort of saw it from like humble beginnings to,
Right. Yeah,
to
I've been
where it is
watching
now.
AEW since like the very, very start, so I appreciate that.
So go ahead,
Um,
sir.
Alrighty, well let's talk about, it's Wednesday, we're
You know what
live.
that means.
We're live on December 7th. We are live from the HEB Center in Austin, Texas. You know it's Wednesday, and you know what that means. Excalibur welcomes us to the show along with Taz and Tony Schiavone. Um, they started talking about the Diamond Battle Royal Rumble as wrestlers were, already around the ring, and they mentioned MJF attacking Regal last week, saying that Regal is still in the hospital. No, he's going to WWE. Um, and Brian Danielson is still with him. Congrats on Brian Danielson for the week off. Um, Seriously, like congratulations on Brian
Yeah.
Danielson for the week off
I
because
mean, listen, that's his mentor. That's his second dad. He's got to be by his side. I mean, he's going to WWE, and who knows what's looking, type of trouble is looking for him there. So,
right.
but here's what I heard. Question for you.
Go ahead.
Got a question for you. See, I'm ready for the answer. Um, isn't he not allowed to be on TV for like a
A
year?
year. Yeah.
So I just
So
read somewhere. Go ahead.
no, because all I was gonna say was right. So if he's when he goes to WWE, he can't be on TV for a year. And another rumor was going around that CM Punk is trying to get a WrestleMania match at WWE, but that's not going to be able to happen because he won't be able to appear on another company for at least a year.
For a year. But can William Regal work behind the scenes? Just
Yes.
not on camera. Okay, so then I
Right.
think I heard that he is coming then in January 2023. They said he's gonna become vice president of something with
Probably
the
NXT or talent relations or something. I'm thinking talent relations.
very interesting. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But
No,
yeah,
you're good.
Brian Danielson's fucking cooling at home with
Hell
his
yeah.
daughter is adorable, by the way, Birdie.
I wonder what's going on because we haven't seen Danielson on TV, so I don't know if it's for a storyline, if he
He's
has some
very
other
hurt.
personal things going on, but
He's upset. His best friend,
his daddy,
his dad, yeah,
his daddy. But
his daddy,
so
man.
they started off the pay-per-view with the Diamond Battle Royal. Um,
Christian, question for you. What is so the whole point of this is that the diamond battle royal signifies like the ring. I know the winner gets ring, but what does that signify? That you're cool, like it's just a ring that you hold. You're a number one contender. Like what does this? Because I know MJF has it. I've seen it before, but he has it every year. What is the significance of this?
um, that's a good question. I think it's a pointless battle royal because the times that MJF's won, he's never got a title shot. So it's not a number one contenders thing. It's not a number one contender. It can't be a number one contenders thing because they already had Ricky Starks versus MJF before they did the battle royal. So I can't tell you, man. I don't. Again, this is just another stupid bullshit thing AEW does that doesn't make sense. Terrible because they have terrible booking behind the scenes, and I'll get more into a little bit of that into the show. But I I don't know. It's stupid. But they started the show off with the Diamond Battle Royal, and this was very, very long. I'm not gonna say who who was all in. I'm not gonna say what happened. I'm just gonna say that the final three competitors of the match were Ethan Page, Hardy, and Starks. With Ethan ordering Hardy what to do, Ethan did a dumb move by turning his back to Matt, so Ricky Starks tossed Matt over the top floor. Starks hit a DDT on Ethan Starks. Ethan Ethan Starks, oh my God, Ethan Page. Ethan sent Starks into the turnbuckle, followed by a kick to the head. Ethan went for a power slam, but Ricky Starks uses momentum to flip over uh Ethan Page over the top to the floor to win the match. The winner, Ricky Starks. This was a stupid battle royal. It lacked, it had no stars in it. It had maybe one or two, but it had really no stars in it. I don't understand what the point of this was, because we already have Ricky Starks fighting MJF for the title, so it's not like he's already getting a number one contender's title. Um, like I said, this is just lazy booking. This is something AEW just puts out there because they don't know what the fuck to do with themselves, and I'm sick and tired of fucking seeing it. They need to do something in 2023 that's not like this. But this was a stupid way to start the start the show. Anthony, what do you think about this battle royal?
I didn't watch it because I didn't really
It
care.
was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. I
I
watched it.
I don't like their battle royals. I feel like they're too long, and I feel like they think the fans really enjoy them, and there's really no interesting part of them at
There's no
all.
interesting thing. Yes, I agree
There's no
100%.
storylines made. It's just like people fighting for 20 minutes, and then it's like, okay, let's move on. So yeah, I didn't really care, but
I agree with you. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because there's nothing to talk about. Ricky Starks wins the match, but I mean, I guess it sets up for a good promo by Ricky Starks, which I will be talking about. But first, let's hear from MJF. MJF makes his entrance to the ring, of course, with the world title around his waist. MJF went into the ring telling Bryan Danielson that he knows that Bryan Danielson is scared of MJF, and after what MJF did to William Regal, Bryan should be scared. Bryan said he's going to be the four-time Diamond Ring holder and he'll be AEW World Champion. MJF told Ricky Starks that people seem to like him around here. MJF said that Starks is very talented, but the truth is that I'm sorry. The truth is that Ricky Starks is absolute drizzling shits. MJF said that he's a Roo Poo candy ass. Where did he get that from?
The
The
Rock,
Rock. And he
Jinx.
said, yep, and he said Stark stole everything else from him, that guy. MJF called him a dollar store Dwayne. Again, taking reference from WWE. That's what MJF loves to do. And he's going to start calling him the Pebble. MJF bragged about having a Porsche while ripping on the crowd for being poor. He's going to skip Ricky's Pebble all the way to Billy fuck, what's that? I can never pronounce that dude's name. The dude from NWA, Ricky
Who?
Corgan, Billy Corgan,
Billy Coogan.
Billy Coogan. I always say Corgan. Fuck, I always get
I just know him
bullied for
because he
saying
was
it.
in the band. What's that band? Smashing Pumpkins.
Okay, so he can wrestle on YouTube where he belongs. MJF said he really didn't care. Starks was absolute because MJF is a generational talent. Um, then Starks began his promo. Um, where Starks ripped about MJF's spray tan. He ripped about the cheap shoes, the shirt is too tight, the scarf, yelled at MJF for thinking he was better than Starks. Starks talked about how MJF, of how cheap MJF is with the scarf, and talked about how people behind him, how he has the people behind him, and Starks gave him a reason to keep going. Starks talked about how MJF let the people down, MJF let Regal down, MJF delivers on time, every week, every month. Ricky Starks rips on MJF for complaining about not being paid enough. Starks says that MJF avoids responsibility because everyone hates him. While Ricky Stark shows up to signing, Stark says there's responsibility when people like you. Stark says he's living with dignity and respect. Um, he's stomping an asshole onto him, and Starks is taking the title. Starks is taking the responsibility off MJF's plate. MJF kicks Starks in the groin. MJF charged with the punch, but Ricky Starks avoids it. Ricky Starks runs to the rope and hits a spear. Starks posted with the AEW World title while MJF rolls out to the floor to sell the spear. The fans were really, really interested in that segment. Um, I thought Ricky Starks' fucking segment was great. I know me and you have had this discussion in the past how you don't really, find Ricky Starks too interesting, but I hope watching this promo really changed that because Ricky Starks is phenomenal, man. And I'm not saying he, holy fuck, excuse me. I'm not saying he's going to win the championship. I'm not
Turbo.
saying fuck, I drank shit. I was taking a sip of my Coke and it ran down the wrong tube.
Oh my God. Doesn't that you first of all, are you okay? I hate when that happens. That take a moment for this. This take a moment. Let me say something here. I hate when that happens to me because it hurts like a
Hell
bitch.
yeah.
Take a moment. Now listen,
Ah,
MJF got spewed out of his fucking boots, man.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
pink socks. What'd you think of those? You like them?
Hell yeah. No,
Would
they're
you rock
stupid.
them?
No, I would not rock them at all. But
Are you a
like,
socks person?
yeah, I always wear socks, of course. But
I feel you.
like I
Okay,
was
go
saying,
ahead.
I don't think Ricky Starks is world championship material quite yet. I do think he is, high mid card talent. I just don't see him being a world champion yet, but it's good to see him, work with MJF. I think that's something, the crowd really wanted to see, and I'm one of those people that really wanted to see it. I think MJF will win the match, obviously. I liked a lot of the, Starks again put some of his personal things into the promo, which is always, good to hear. Um, but I just really like the segment, and I just can't wait for the match. But what do you think about the segment? And do you still think that Ricky Starks is absolutely boring?
Romans, because we're talking about someone who claims they're a champion
Oh shit, I
on
knew
one
that was coming.
show. So, well, that fake champion, and I'll name him MJF because he didn't want to name me, and I'll name him because I'm not scared of him at all. MJF. This is what a real champion looks like, buddy. Not no triple B title, no Burberry, whatever that crap is. Is
Burberry.
this is a real thing here. So let's talk about someone who I do actually respect, unlike MJF. Ricky Starks really delivered, man. Um, I do like him. I like how he gave his all. He was really passionate about it. And I will tell you, he made me want to see this match. I like storytelling. I like really good storytelling. And yeah, I'm excited to see this match. I feel like I think the reason why I didn't like him so much was I felt like they always put a mid card kinda, and I felt like from what I seen, it wasn't, and maybe it was just because it was just a basic Dynamite that I've been to, but I didn't feel like he gave it his all. But I think now I'm starting to see that. Um, so yeah, I'm happy to see Ricky Starks. I'm excited to see this match next week. I do
Hell
have a lot
yeah.
of respect for him. If he's a pebble, he is gonna be teaming up with Bam Bam and taking down MJF because that's a Flintstones reference. I'm old. So Pebbles and Bam Bam, do you know what that is, dude?
No, I'm old. I'm young.
Oh my
I'm young.
God.
I'm young. I'm young. I'm a little young.
Listen, the Flintstones, before we go to commercial, because we have some time, the Flintstones was a cartoon in the 60s, all right, about Fred Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones and the family. You don't know the Flintstones?
Yeah, I know the Flintstones.
Okay, so okay, the daughter, her name is Pebble,
I didn't know that.
okay, and the son is Bam Bam. So I said,
Oh!
so that's why I said the Pebble is going to team up with
Oh!
Bam Bam and beat the crap out of MJF.
Oh
I just
my
want to
God, I didn't
explain
get
it.
that. I didn't get the reference. I
That's
didn't
just
get the
why. I'm
reference.
sorry. That's why I wanted to explain the
Oh,
reference. This is
okay,
your
yes.
show. I'm sorry.
I'm
Um,
sorry. It took me a little bit to get the rest of it.
but I'm excited for this match. I'm excited for Ricky Starks, and I think that he's just going to keep on going up. And if he keeps doing what he did last week, then I think there's good stuff for him. I'm excited to see what he's got next. Keep going.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Kill it.
Um, But like I said, I'm excited to see what this match is gonna hold, and I do think the match will end cheap, but we're just gonna have to watch and see. But there was a video with some quick promos from the TNT champion Samoa Joe and Darby Allin. Their match is coming up. I did not expect what happened to happen in that match, but all right. We went to the commercial break, and John Moxley did a backstage promo talking about Hangman Adam Page, cowboy shit, a bit saying that, Hangman fell off his horse, dusted himself off, and did his talking with his fist. Moxley talked about uh, this is the king of sports, or sport of kings. I apologize. Moxley talked about how the Blackpool Combat Club was going to prove themselves this week against the Jericho Appreciation Society with some ass-kicking wrestling. Moxley is going to be ringside to make sure none of that sports entertainment bullshit during their tag team match happens. And then Moxley said if Adam Page wants another piece, he knows where to find him. Uh, Real quick, this is just another segment between Moxley and talking shit about Hangman Adam Page. I don't know where the fuck this is going. Moxley talks about how he's big shit, big shit. I get it. Hangman Adam Page isn't medically cleared to compete right now, but I do think Hangman Adam Page is less interesting. I remember watching AEW. Like I said, I've been watching AEW since the shit first fucking started. Um, I Hangman Adam Page was the shit when this company first started. And my personal opinion, I really do think that yes, we had Cody Rhodes, Omega, Jericho, but Hangman Adam Page was there from the start, and he fucking always made a killer performance. And I think during his title reign, he slowly became to be less interesting and less, no one gives a fuck about him anymore. And I just hope, when he comes back and has this feud with Moxley, he's more interesting to watch because the last year, 2022 has been fucking rough to watch him wrestle. It's been bad watch. I haven't been a fan of him this year. With Moxley, same bullshit Moxley does. But real quick, what do you think about Hangman Adam Page here? What are you excited for his return?
Mm, I don't really care. He doesn't really do it for me.
I agree.
He doesn't
I
really do it
liked him
for
back
me.
in the day, but like when AEW
I
first.
respect him because he used to be a teacher, and I think he works his ass off. But I just feel like the problem is like there's too many people that aren't doing anything. Even Kenny Omega, like he's fucking Kenny Omega, and he's in a trios title match. Like who gives a
On a
fuck?
trios title match that no one gives a fuck about, that is going on way too much. They need to, I don't know what in the bright mind did Tony Khan think that it was a great idea to have a trios tag team fucking title? There's only the reason why we keep getting a fucking uh the same trios title match every other week is because there's no uh trio tag teams
Competitors.
competitors with it besides the House of Black. What else is there? No one
Wow,
gives a
you're
shit.
channeling some sort of force of
No
nature.
one gives a
There's gonna
shit
be a
about the
new
trios
trio
tag team
team.
title.
Dude, Christian, you have to come in and manage a new trio team and just call it total annihilation
It's
because
just
fuck,
stupid. It's fucking late. It's stupid. Stupid. But anyway, I don't think, Hangman Adam Page, like I said, he hasn't been doing shit for me. So I hope we see a little bit more of Hangman Adam Page. But real quick before we take our first break, coming up next, we have the TNT Championship match between Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin. And before I get in too detailed about this match, because we don't have much time here before we take our first break, um, I really think, they did Darby Allin really wrong with this match. Samoa Joe, Darby Allin has been, like I said, Darby Allin, like I said about Hangman Adam Page, Darby Allin has been in AEW since the very, very, very start. And we've only seen one title reign out of him. Every time he's booked in a championship match, he gets so close to winning, or every time he's booked in like a tournament where the winner gets a championship match. He always or a battle royal or something like that. He always gets so close to winning, and he never does, and it sucks because his only TNT championship, his only title reign in AEW has it didn't even last very long. He had a couple good feuds, but I mean there was just nothing special about Darby Allin's title run, and there's something special about Darby Allin himself. I mean, well, I haven't seen a wrestler who's this young who takes as many hits as Darby Allin does, as many fall bumps as Darby Allin does. Um, I wish they would have done him a little better with this match. Maybe it's hard for Darby Allin even to have won this match because Darby Allin, we know Samoa Joe's a fucking monster, so we know Darby Allin isn't going to beat Samoa Joe. But I don't know, man. I think Darby's definitely one of those guys that he deserves, more than he's been getting, and so not just because he's been there since the beginning, but he knows he's so over with the crowd, and as much as we love seeing Sting and him together, I think it's time for them to do something. I think it's time for Sting to just retire. Let Darby keep doing his thing because I really would like to see Darby at the main level competitor um level. But real quick before we take our first break, what's your opinion on Darby Allin? Because I don't want to get too deep into the match right now.
I'm gonna give you a 2 minute thought on Darby Allin. Starting uh Darby Allin, he's cool. Um, he's like a young Jeff Hardy, which I think is kind of cool. He's like a daredevil trying to bring new elements. He's definitely making a name for himself and making history with all the stuff that he's doing. Um, he's really torturing his body though, but I do respect him. Uh, I just think, and I hate to say this, how people talk shit about Adam Cole. I like Adam Cole. I think he's my favorite, one of my favorite wrestlers. Oh, he's too small. Darby Allin is a size of like a fucking toothpick.
Hmm.
So him against Samoa Joe, like, come on, like that's dumb booking.
I
Anybody,
agree.
it's like, and I hate, it's not like he's a high flyer like Rey Mysterio, like he is but he's more like come at your face, attack, and then like if Rey was gonna run from you, do some high flying stuff, trip you up. Darby just comes at you, and it's like you're gonna get annihilated. And we'll talk about that after the break, right, sir?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, we're gonna take our first break here, but when we come back, we're gonna talk about the TNT Championship match again between Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin. You don't want to miss it. Keep watching. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
What up, everybody? I'm still Christian. That's still Anthony. And we're here. We're back. Let's finally talk about, what we've been waiting for. We're going to talk about the TNT Championship match between Samoa Joe and Darby Allin. So they started by exchanging punches when Darby hits a drop kick and Joe was knocked out of the ring. Darby went for a running suicide dive, but Joe did his classic walkaway spot as Allen went crashing really hard into the floor. I kind of saw, I knew that was gonna happen when I was watching it, but I was really excited to see this match. But like I said, the way this went, Joe sent Allen into the barricade twice, along with the whip into the ring. Excuse me, I apologize. Samoa Joe slammed Darby Allin down on the floor with Darby bumping into his hip. Joe tried a power move on the floor. Darby slipped out of it, and Samoa Joe gave Darby Allin a power slam on the floor after pulling up on the mat. Darby's been taking some big bumps this match. Um, it just doesn't look good for Samoa Joe, man. They went to commercial and the match returned with Samoa Joe sending Darby Allin into the ring post. Darby did a spinning bump onto the floor. The referee finally decided to do a 10 count and Allin got back in the ring before 10. It's AEW. Um, I feel like I've seen them do, like that really inconsistent. Like for example, Darby went up on the match, like it was 9, and then probably like 5 seconds he went and then Darby went in the ring. So that was a little stupid in my opinion, but whatever. Um, Samoa Joe caught Darby Allin, but Darby Allin broke free with a flipping stunner and code red for a 2 count. Allin charged at Joe, who caught him with the arrange. They battled by the turnbuckles. Darby hit Joe in the face, and Allin tried a coffin drop on the top, but Samoa Joe caught him. Samoa Joe applied a rear naked choke, and Darby passes out, and Samoa Joe gets the win. This was just an ass kicking Darby Allin took. There's just nothing to say about it. Samoa Joe absolutely destroyed Darby Allin. I wasn't entertained about this match at all. As like I was really excited. This was probably my favorite match on the match card when when they first announced this match, and for it to just be about Samoa Joe just dominating. Darby Allin is not a fucking, you know, Brian Pillman Jr. or he's not a fucking one of those guys that competes on Danhausen or Orange Cassidy that just competes on Dark and Revolution and Rampage bullshit. Well, Darby does compete on Rampage, but my point is Darby's a fucking star. Like he's not just one of those job guys you send to the ring for talent to get put over. He's not one of those guys, and this is what it looked like. This is exactly what the match looked like. I've never seen Darby. I've seen Darby take some bad bumps, but I've never seen him get his ass kicked that bad. But um, I, I was just disappointed in the match. Darby should have not gotten his. He just got his ass kicked. I wasn't entertained by it. Darby had a little bit of momentum going on, but what do you think about this fucking disaster?
See, I disagree with you, man. I feel like Darby's a joke. He's with Sting. He's with Sting. All he does is team up with Sting and fight Sting's battles. Like everybody that doesn't like Darby at first, like when it came, like when he first teamed up with Sting, was like Sting's over old rivals, Jeff Jarrett, all these people. Like, what the fuck does Jeff Jarrett have to do with anything, you know? And so it's just like for me, like I care about what's happening, and I do think I also think about like what have you done for me lately. I do like Darby Allin, but I really think Darby needs to turn heel or something because this skit of him getting hurt, doing a crazy move. I sound like fucking Ric Flair here, but it's just like I guess it's like it's cool, it's crazy, but like Jeff Hardy had another like I feel like he's kind of like a wannabe Jeff Hardy, but Jeff Hardy brought something different. Darby Allin just like I don't think he's that creative because he does the same shit. Like he's innovative in a sense of like, the different dives he does off of different buildings and stuff, but like
One thing
when
I
do
can
we
say
when
about
does it get
Darby,
old?
I can agree with you a little bit on that because the one thing I can say about Darby Allin is he doesn't. When was the last time we seen Darby Allin like cut a promo? Like
We never do. He's just up Sting's
he's
ass and he's
just
fighting Sting's battles.
he's just doing some crazy high flying shit. So yes, I can agree with you on that. But if
See,
they
think about this for a minute, Christian. Imagine, so we know how Darby Allin's already twisted as it is, right?
right,
And how he's gonna hurt himself. Imagine a twisted Darby Allin that wants to hurt other people. Like Darby
right,
doesn't go to really hurt people, right? Like
he just
he's
really
more
goes to
putting
hurt
himself
himself.
on.
You know what? I can respectfully agree. I can respect that. That I can agree
Instead
with
of
that a
taking
little bit.
having him take, and we'll talk about this. I don't mean to go ahead and talk in the future, but instead of taking a bump on wheels, he could be fucking taking the fucking wheel and almost fucking like stomping someone's teeth. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we need to see. If I want to respect Darby, stop hurting yourself and hurt other people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like you're a wrestler. Like I get it. Like you're a daredevil, but like you're not getting
Speaking
anything.
of Daredevil,
Go
after
ahead.
the match,
Yeah.
Darby Allin gets up and shoves Samoa Joe in the chest after he fucking just beat his ass. So Samoa Joe does what anyone would do and headbutts him and grabs Darby's skateboard, flips the wheels over facing up, gives Darby Allin a muscle buster onto the wheels, then Samoa Joe applies another rear naked choke, but then here comes big old stupid big looking fuck of a fucking Job Warlow. Here he comes. I think Samoa Joe's a fucking good ass heel. I
Joe
just
looked terrified though.
what
That's the thing.
I just want to know what took Wardlow so long for him to come out to save Darby. Um, I guess it's gonna lead to Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. I never really been a fan of Wardlow. He doesn't interest me at all. He's just a big fuck. That's just all. That's all I gotta say about the match. Really, I got
Hmm?
nothing else to say about the match.
What I find interesting, is after the Ring of Honor show, Samoa Joe like wants to be referred to as like Your Highness, Your Majesty, because he goes by the King of TV now. So
Right,
I think this is going to be his new moniker and gimmick. But it's strange that like I don't like a big guy like Samoa Joe acting afraid of anyone because
right.
Samoa Joe's a big dude. You're not gonna be afraid of
I
Wardlow. Like you
agree.
might be like a little hesitant, but you're not gonna be like he was running away. Like Samoa Joe, come on, don't be afraid.
No,
Uh,
I agree.
anyways, back to you.
But
Sorry.
speaking of Ring of Honor, a video aired with Chris Jericho talking about he has become the Ring of Honor World Champ, the best. Why he's become the best Ring of Honor champion of all time. Jericho said that Claudio doesn't believe that he can beat Jericho, which is why Jericho will beat Claudio at Final Battle. Jericho talked about Claudio being forced to join Jericho Appreciation Society after he loses. Um, I'm not gonna say anything because I already watched the
Yeah, we
pay-per-view,
can we
so
can talk about that, all
I'm not
that.
gonna say anything about it. But good match. Stupid finish. Anyway, now we got Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta with John Moxley taking on Daniel Garcia and Jake Hager with Sammy Guevara. Um, you know, this match, I didn't think it. I just think it's another, battle between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society. I think, we're getting really, really, really sick of hearing that, but whatever. Claudio, or sorry, Wheeler Yuta chopped Jake Hager, then Hager ran over Yuta with a shoulder tackle, then Garcia stomped on Yuta in the corner. Yuta with a body slam and a senton splash on Garcia. Claudio tagged in for a double boot onto Garcia. Hager tagged in, leading um to a trip as the fans shouted, "We the people!" In the reference, obviously, if you guys don't know, Jack Swagger, uh, "We the people."
We the people.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Um,
Uh,
but Yuta was tagged in and hits a double axe on Hager's arm, followed by Yuta hitting a drop kick. Um, I'm sorry, Yuta with a slam on Garcia. Both heels went to the floor and Yuta hit a suicide dive. Sammy with a distraction, so Danny Garcia shoves Willer Yuta off the top into Jake Hager's arms, leading to a slam by Hager. Hager does not. I'll talk more about that. Garcia worked over Yuta with a chop, followed by some face gouging. Garcia and Yuta battled by the turnbuckle, leading to Yuta hitting a superplex off the top rope. Then we go to commercial. Again, or really we went to picture in picture, but I I I like the picture in picture stuff. But Garcia hits a boot to the face on Yuta, who bounced off the ropes and came back with a German suplex. Claudio tagged in Hager with uppercuts, a corner elbow smash, more uppercuts, and Claudio came back even with some forearm smashes, and I think he just does the same moves anyway. It's kind of getting annoying to watch. But Claudio did a swing on Hager for about maybe 10 rotations, followed by Claudio hitting a clothesline for two. Claudio went for a move off the ropes when Sammy Guevara touched him right in front of the referee. I don't know why and the referee clearly saw it, so he didn't do shit about it. I don't know why he didn't. Moxley punches Guevara to knock him down, and then Hager is set going again with the ankle lock. And then but Claudio sent Hager into Garcia to knock him out of the ring, and Claudio hit an uppercut on Hager for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, winner. Claudio and Wheeler Yuta. It was a good match, but again, another Blackpool Combat Club versus Jericho Appreciation Society, matchup. I think we're getting really sick and fucking tired of that. I mean, we literally have been seeing that since like Double or Nothing, and I just want to see something else. Now with Regal gone, I hope they don't. I hope they do something else. I do think this is just, Claudio's fighting at Ring of Honor, Wheeler's fighting Garcia at Ring of Honor, so this is just a match to build up for Final Battle. I don't think the fans were really interested in this match again because um we've seen this so many times and it just wasn't a big reaction. But I'm gonna stop doing the talking, my friend. And what did you think about this match?
I always hate when they have these tag matches because it's always like, all right, it's like lazy booking. Like, okay, these guys are gonna fight at the
Exactly.
pay-per-view. Let's just do this. Um, I guess good showing for Claudio if we won't talk about what happens at Ring of Honor, but they want to make him look good based on the results of that pay-per-view. I don't know his thoughts on this because it, it, the action is good, don't get me wrong, but again, there's too many like groups, there's too many people working with each other, there's just too many interlinking rivalries. Claudio's good, I like him. Um Wheeler Yuta's good too. These are all good guys. It's just like I don't really care. Jake Hager is cool, but
No, I
gimmick
agree
with that
100%. But
here.
this next segment from the Blackpool Combat Club was very, very interesting. And I might have a lot to say about this, but I really, really want, our listeners that really don't know what's going on here, because I think this was really Regal's final appearance on AEW
Yeah, let's
television.
talk about it.
And wow, it was really crazy to see. But there was a post-match interview in the ring with Tony Schiavone. It led to Schiavone showing a clip of his interview with William Regal that was taped before MJF attacked Regal. In the video, Regal said people will only see this if something bad happens to William. Regal said now everybody in this company is going to be chasing MJF. Regal said that the three main members of the Blackpool Combat Club didn't need him, but they don't need him anymore. Regal said that he needed to show them they didn't need him and they can teach Wheeler Yuta. Regal said that the reason he did what he did was to teach them the final thing he could ever teach them. Always stay one step ahead and make sure you keep your eyes in the back of your head. Regal said he's Blackpool Combat Club for the rest of his life. Tony said he taped that 2 weeks ago with Regal. Moxley said they live and breathe the sport of professional wrestling. Moxley said that you can call him whatever you want. Moxley said at Final Battle, this is War with Jericho Appreciation Society ends. Moxley said that this Friday on Rampage he'll challenge any wrestler that wants to face him. Moxley spoke about how the Blackpool Combat Club will make a statement and pro wrestling will make a statement, and then they exit the ring. Really, really interesting message for Regal to deliver before he heads out. Um, Man, I don't think the Blackpool Combat Club needs him anymore. I don't. Um, they've been doing their thing now. They haven't been really even involving him. Every time Regal kind of just comes out, he kind of just does commentary. Um, but I remember when Regal first debuted versus Moxley and Danielson, and I thought maybe he'd just be, an executive or something behind the scenes, but then he ended up doing something with the Blackpool Combat Club that was really interesting. But what did you
Yeah,
think about this promo? What do you think
I was
about Regal
trying
leaving?
to I was trying to look up how long Regal's been in the company. He debuted when, like February?
Revolution, yep.
Okay. So I mean it's kind of like what's the point? It's like all these people just left. By the way, speaking of Vince McMahon, I'm about to mention him in a minute. There's a documentary tomorrow on Vice called The Nine Lives of Vince McMahon. It's going to document, highlight pretty much the scandals and all the shit that Vince has gone through. But I feel like once Vince left, everybody's like, I'm jumping ship, I'm going back, which kind of like shows you what the wrestlers think of the company.
Right.
If you're gonna join this company, be I'm all out, I'm all elite, and the first chance you get to leave, you do. like, um,
Um,
so, but go ahead.
no,
I'm happy for Regal though. I'm happy to see him back. It was a really
I'm
good promo.
happy.
I
I
got
just
sad.
I just think again, I just think if if this Vince McMahon thing never would have happened, I don't think any of these guys would really
No.
want to go back to WWE. And it puts AEW in a position where they're either gonna have to offer a lot of fucking money for these guys.
The other
I'm
thing too is their divisions aren't that good.
I don't want to
Like,
scare
I'm
I don't want to say
sorry.
I'm scared for AEW, but I don't want them to be like a WCW.
The
I
women's
don't.
division sucks,
The
man. Like,
women's division's brutal.
it's bad, but all right, go ahead,
Brutal.
mister.
No, the women's division's brutal. I agree. Um, but the House of Black was featured in a promo with Malachi Black talking about how this company has been corrupted by some people, and then it's their time to do the corrupting. I don't want to talk too much about this. I just want to say that the House of Black, I like how they've been booking since they're, returning. I don't really like Julia Hart. She doesn't impress me. I like to see her do something by herself, but whatever. Jamie Hayter was seated for an interview with Tony Schiavone. Finally, the AEW Women's World Champion gets a fucking interview, but Hayter had the AEW Women's title with her. Hayter said that everybody is trying to grind to reach her at the top. Hayter said she'll give a championship match to whoever wins the match between uh, Ikiro Shahida and the Bunny on Rampage. Hayter spoke about how she's going to be the fighting champion and a damn good one. Um, like I said, it's just nice to see Jamie Hayter speak. I don't think she speaks a lot. She doesn't get the spotlight really
No.
because she's next to Dr. Britt Baker and she does all the fucking talking. Real quick, what do you think about Jamie Hayter and are you excited to see her championship reign?
So again, like I know of her. I've seen her compete. I saw her match where she won the title. I just feel like you're the main champion and no one's talking about you.
Exactly.
So it's just like you're kind of irrelevant. And like even when she gives her interview, it's like, I'm going to defend my title against Hikaru Shida or the Bunny. Yeah, because we really want to see that. Like their division sucks. And I feel bad because it's like what are they supposed to do?
Right.
But like don't give it to Jamie, like give it to Jamie Hayter, but like build her up a bit more. Like I feel like she should have lost against Tony and then won the second time she fought against her. Because in my opinion, you've just been nothing but Britt Baker's like butt buddy, like you
His
don't
bit her bitch,
her bit like you don't really do anything. And now it's like you're the champion. All of a sudden, we're supposed to believe that you are more important. Unless they make her turn against Britt, that's the only thing that's really relevant. But go ahead.
No, I agree 100%. I would I'd really like to see, Jamie Hayter, have a good match with a good storyline or something. I don't know. They need to build this women's division up a little bit better. But speaking of the women's division, we have a 6-women tag team match between the baddies Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Layla Gray, taking on former baddie Kiera Hogan, Madison Rayne, and Sky Blue. Um, Jade Cargo is still the TBS championship or championship. Jade Cargo is still the TBS champion and she is still undefeated. Hogan got kicked out of Jade's group. So that's the storyline going into the match. With Red Velvet and Sky Blue did a pin attempt routine for near falls. Gray tagged in with a double back elbow to knock Blue down. Gray hit a running knee into the corner, and Blue hit a spinning kick to the head. Ray tagged in with a trip, followed by Blue getting a drop kick. Velvet was back in as Blue hit her with a super kick. A lot of kicking here we see. Red Velvet chopped Sky Blue into the apron and hit her with some punches, and then they went to the pitcher and pitcher. And then when they came back, Red Velvet was working on Sky Blue, which led to a double super kick spot that led to tags by each teams with Kiera Hogan tagging in with her facing Cargo. So both of them were in for the first time, since Kiera Hogan's been kicked out of the baddies with Hogan with a drop kick on Cargo, then sliding boot on Cargo, and Hogan sent Gray and Velvet to the floor. Cargo caught Hogan and hit her with a huge spine buster. Hogan avoided a move by Cargo. Rain tagged in with a huge kick and Cargo hit her with an elbow. Cargo hit Rain with the jaded slam for the win. The match lasted about 5 minutes. It was just a typical women's tag team match, with Jade Cargo kicking ass and Jade Cargo getting the win. Again, at this point, Cargo's not winning or losing that championship. Um, every time, should they get a win, they put on the screen, she's 48-3 in her AEW career.
Mhm.
So Velvet Sky didn't seem so impressed, so maybe Velvet Sky will be the next one to challenge for that title.
Velvet
We'll
Sky,
see. Or
Red Velvet.
Red Velvet.
I got.
Velvet Sky. Shout out Red Velvet Sky. She was one
I
of
was
my
just
favorite
thinking
Impact
about her too
wrestlers of
for
the
a minute
day.
as you were saying that. I'm like, wait a minute, she's in AEW. Wait a minute, what?
No, I meant Red Velvet. Sorry.
Brother, I
Sky Blue,
absolutely
Red
love you,
Velvet.
man. You are so.
But
This
what do you?
kid is a fucking G.
Oh
You
my
are
God, too
high
much
five,
wrestling
man.
names. Too much wrestling names. But
Boom.
what did you think of this 6 women tag team match? And what do you think about Jade Cargo?
That was boring.
I agree.
I'm Jay Cargill's cool, but I mean, again, the division's so soft that it's just like, yeah, you're tough because you're not facing people like fucking Rhea Ripley or fucking,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you face off against them, like, it would be a good match. But that's the thing. It's like we're watching, like, you ever go to a dollar store and you go into the fucking toy department and you see like their knockoff super ghetto wrestlers, no name. Like it's like just one person that's like generic looking like a pirate hat, maybe, or like, a guy with like
Arg.
American stripes. Like that's where I feel like the women's division is. Like you watch them and then you turn on at WWE, even the Ring of Honor, like Athena and Mercedes, like they had a hell of a match. Like it's just
Right.
I can't take it seriously. So I mean, it's good for what it was, but again, makes no sense when you kick Kiera Hogan out and she gets no sort of retaliation whatsoever. It's
I
like
agree a
I
hundred.
don't
Yep.
understand why AEW does that. It's like you make these people get like attacked and there's no retaliation until months later when no one cares or they forget about what happened. But go ahead.
No, I agree 100%. I think this women's roster again, this is the second time in a row they're doing a women's segment, so I don't know. And speaking of women's segment, third one of the night and third one in a row, because here we have Saraya was interviewed by Tony Schiavone, but Dr. Britt Baker, DMB, shows up for the interruption as usual. Baker talks about how Saraya had everything handed to her since she got here. Baker talked about how she had a ticket for Saraya at a match at Dynamite in LA for January 11th. Baker said that she will be in a tag team match, so Saraya will find a tag team partner. At least she has time. I don't know who the tag team partner is. It could be somebody in the roster, but I think it's going to be somebody debuting. What do you think?
I really hope it's someone debuting, but knowing AEW is going to be someone on the roster like a Sky Blue or someone no one gives a fuck about. Want to be Ruby Soho. It's going to be somebody who, because they're looking at like who wants to join AEW's women division. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, who would really want to go there? Like, if you look at the talent, like, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like, yeah, let me jump shit to a promotion that sucks. Even Sasha Banks, like, I'd rather go to and live in Japan than fucking work for AEW. I mean, that's just like they're not gonna have nobody, and if they do, good luck. They're not gonna last. Madison Rain, it's gonna be or maybe it could be what's that the fucking Serena Deeb, and she's good, but I mean, it's just like,
Right.
who do you think it's gonna be? If it's gonna be someone showing up, who do you think?
I think it's going to be showing Naomi.
Really?
I'm taking a bold ass guess. I think
Do
it's going
you
to be
think this is AEW? But do you think with Sasha being gone in Japan, do you think? I mean, I have a feeling she's gonna be back eventually with WWE, but do you think it's just her sort of like dipping her feet in Japan, or do you think she's gonna come back, and or
I
do you
think
think she's gonna
she's
stay
gonna.
for a
I
while?
think she is gonna come back because she's petty, and they're gonna. Triple H is going to offer her the money because it probably will be best for business. I strongly believe that Naomi is going to go to AEW. Um, it might be crazy to sound, but you know, I feel like in WWE her character is kind of like that glow bullshit. I feel like in AEW they can really make her a badass. Really make her a baddie with Cargill.
Yeah, but then here's a problem. There's too many bad people. There's not enough like face women, I feel like, and they all are like losers. You know what I'm saying? Like all the
No,
face
I agree.
Ruby Soho, you know. Anyways, go ahead, sir.
I agree. I agree. But coming up, we have our main event. It is
By the way,
the.
pause. To cut you off, I'm so sorry about that,
You're
sir.
good. You're good. You're good.
What the fuck happened with Bow Wow? He was here last week and now he's like this is what I'm saying, like inconsistent. Like I'm gonna be
Incons-
one. Fuck.
I agree, my brother. I don't know what they're doing for Bow Wow.
Go
It's
ahead.
stupid. It's stupid.
Bow Wow,
Um,
wow, you be yo, you be yay. Where my
we're
dog
playing
at?
basketball.
Oh, see, I sing that at work to the
Um.
kids in the afternoon. Basketball, because they do basketball, man.
Okay, I just played basketball today. But the AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line. The acclaimed Anthony Bowens and Matt Caster with Daddy Ass Billy Gunn versus FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. This match was very, very long. FTR was in control with Caster as the face in uh even Wheeler. Wait, what the fuck? Where am I? Sorry, I had my notes on my computer and my computer kind of just took a shit. But okay, so Dax Wheeler had Caster set up on the top rope. Caster shoved Wheeler off the turnbuckle and Caster hit a diving cross body block. They showed Jay Lethal, Jeff Jarrett, and their group watching the match on the TV. I don't know why Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, everyone's involved in this. It's again, I don't know, but whatever. Harwood tagged in, Caster ducked a punch, and Caster hit a back body drop. Bowens tagged in with a back elbow to Harwood's back. Bowens with a leg drop to the back of the head of Wheeler, followed by a thrust kick and a running knee on Harwood for a 2 count. Harwood went to the rolling German suplexes, two of them. Anthony Bowens got a roll up for two, and Bowens knocked uh, Wheeler off the apron. Harwood rolled up Bowens with the trunks grab for a two, and then Bowens with a slam off the shoulders that sent Harwood's neck into the knee, leading to Bowens getting a 2 count. Wheeler tagged in, Harwood punched Bowens, and Wheeler jumped off the middle rope for a spine power driver for a 2 count. Taz said that he broke his neck in 1995, so I, when he said that, I kind of, thought, I hope he's okay. You know what I mean? I hope,
Yeah.
what's it called? Wheelers or Cash Wheelers are right for that. But anyway, Caster tagged in for a double team sit out slam neck breaker on Harwood for a 2 count. Harwood kicked Caster into Bowens, and then all four guys were in the ring going for double team spots. Harwood sent Caster into the ring post. Harwood and Wheeler hit the big rig double team move on Caster, but Bowens broke up the pin attempt. It was just a 2 count. The fans chanted, "This is awesome." Wheeler knocked Bowens off the apron floor. Harwood sent the suplex on Caster, but Bowens knocked Harwood down. Bowens hit the revival slam on Wheeler. Caster tried the top rope elbow, but Wheeler moved and Caster hit the mat. Wheeler hit a glory bomb on Bowens. Caster rolled up Wheeler for two. Wheeler came back with a lariat for two. A lot of 2 counts here. Wheeler with two more lariats on Caster. Wheeler gave a Caster a power bomb, but Caster rolled through it, set on top of Wheeler while hooking the legs for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, and your winners are the acclaimed. This was a fucking awesome match, man. You know, like I said, I've been watching AEW since the start, so I've seen the acclaim from the very, 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 very start. Holy shit, have they fucking come a long way, man. A lot of people hated on Max Caster's gimmick for him rapping to the stage. Everybody called him like a bullshit Cena, all this and that. Anthony Bowens coming out as gay. A lot of people just had so much hate for the acclaim. But they've really have grown over time. I'm so happy to see them what they're doing right now. They're on top of the tag team division. They're stupid over with the fucking crowd right now, making millions of dollars with their merch Scissor Me Daddy ass. But it was just a terrific match. You know, FTR, I knew they weren't gonna win the match, but it kind of sucks to see them lose the match because I do think they are up there for being the best tag team in AEW. And they just, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm not gonna say too much, but they just lost their Ring of Honor tag team titles. So um I don't know what's next for FTR, because they just had their AEW title shot. So I think, the Acclaim beating a really, really good tag team like this is just gonna make them, get more support from the crowd. Um, I think a rematch would be really cool down the line, with FTR this time getting the victory. But this was a good main event. And then after the match, Billy Gunn helped FTR back up with their feet and hugged them. The Acclaim and FTR joined together for some scissoring, and then they showed Billy the Gun Club. So, but let's talk about this main event real quick. Anthony, what did you think about this main event?
So I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was the best one. I'm not a big Acclaimed fan. I think I like their gimmick. I like Max Caster's The Acclaim. I like his rap. Eddie
Yeah,
Owens is cool. I just for me, I'm just a big FTR guy, and I kind of got mad that they didn't win. I knew they weren't gonna win, but I don't think the Acclaimed are that serious of a tag team to be champions. Um, Kind of New Day-esque in the beginning, but you kind of grew to respect the New Day, in my opinion. I do like the Acclaim; they're good. Scissor me, daddy. I like that. That's cool. That's awesome.
yeah.
That's cool. I don't know. I think it's good. To be honest, dude, I'm just upset with AEW. They're not providing me with much. I really enjoy Ring of Honor. AEW didn't do it for me this week.
I can agree. With AEW, I just feel like, they need to step up. They really do need to step up. If you're going to sit here and tell me, that WWE or that AEW is a better product than WWE, you're just fucking insane. Tony Khan's booking has been fucking awful, and it doesn't help that, he has his VPs, he has Jericho, the Young Bucks, and Omega running the fucking thing. Maybe that's why the fucking company's a shit show, and you have so much drama between all of them backstage. We have Jericho who thinks his booking's fucking great, and it's god awful. He's just putting over his buddies, and then we have
Oh,
Omega
so
pretty
wait
much
a
putting
minute.
over their buddies.
Pause. So Chris Jericho is ahead of booking.
He's up there, yeah. He's up. He
Oh,
has saying Jericho, the Young Bucks, and Omega, and it's ridiculous. It's terrible. They have way too many fucking championships. Their storylines go nowhere. It's not how it used to be. Their storylines don't fucking go anywhere. They do something for 2 weeks and then they move on to the next thing, and then the way they end what they were just doing doesn't make any fucking sense anyway. So I hope for 2023 they do something. Do something with the fucking shit. You have MJF as champion now. Do something with the fucking company. Stop doing this lazy booking bullshit where you want to have these fucking stupid ladder matches and these stupid cage matches. So what? So what? How many times do we see those? Lazy booking. I think the star of the match was Ricky Starks. I think the highlight of the match was Ricky Starks his promo. I give the show a 6 out of 10. Really been bursting my bubble the last couple. Last week was okay, but recently the end of 2022, AEW has been bursting my fucking bubble a little bit. Anthony, what was the moment of the night for you?
I agree. Ricky Starks was cool. That was the only thing that really, I remember was that spear. Um, Everything else was cool, but again, it's literally giving me C show vibes, complete turn on this if you literally have nothing else.
No, and I agree, and I literally just like we were talking about off air. I hope AEW doesn't end up like WCW
I
because
hope not, man,
I've been
because they
watching
have
this
good
shit from
talent.
the start. I love All Elite Wrestling so much. I've spent
But
hundreds of
you have
dollars.
to admit, listen, you've been a wrestling fan forever, so you can admit this. When you watch WWE, when you watch AEW, completely different
Absolutely,
products.
absolutely,
Presentation, every single thing is completely different.
absolutely.
And it's just
it shouldn't be that different. Like the caliber of the stars that they have, like I should be like the reason why WCW was cool in the beginning was because they were just there's nothing left. They just did everything with the wrestlers they had. They killed it. They were going out of the storylines. AEW tries to make it like they're not competing, but they are. And
They throw shots at WWE. Fuck yeah. They're
but I do like AEW. I did like Ring of Honor, and that's an AEW show, so I will, I won't hate on that. I mean, not what was it, the Final Battle?
right.
But as far as the Dynamites, like it's just I feel like every Dynamite is lazy. It's like let's lead up to next week. Like I feel like they don't care about what's happening
Right.
in front of them.
Right.
Everything is made for what's to come. Every match, like fucking the Claudio the tag match. Okay, that match was made just so that the next show, the MJF, the Battle Royal,
Right.
that match is made just to promote the next week. Like everything is to promote
Right. And I
everything.
agree.
But when you turn on Raw or SmackDown, you get like I don't know, like a Seth or Austin Theory versus Mustafa Ali. Not a great match, but like they make what they have. I'm gonna throw it to you because you have to land the plane, sir.
Yeah. Well, this has been your AEW Dynamite review. Anthony, thank you very much for having me on here tonight covering AEW Dynamite, and keep making sure to check us out anywhere, everywhere. So thank
Thank
you
you,
very much,
Christian,
and
man. If you were in AEW, you would be the world heavyweight champion. I appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you all. Keep on tuning in. Christian, you rock. Bye, guys.